Welcome everybody to TruExact show, and we are going to recap championship weekend as we, previewed it last week. I'm here with Sir Nas and Tim Sakura, big time Tim. Sorry, I pronounced it right that time. We'll do a roundtable quick. Nas, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Everything's
Okay.
good.
That's nice because I can't wait to get to you about your King Lamar Jackson. Sir, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. We still here, brother. We're still here. One game away from the ultimate goal.
Yeah, very annoying. Tim, how you doing?
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope your Super Bowl box is hit as long as you're not in a pool with me. Best of luck.
Tim coming fresh off a Royal Rumble Sunday viewing, probably. Did you win any of your bets Royal Rumble wise with that stupid 1 through 30 thing?
We hit Miguel's pool.
Oh, good. As long as Miguel didn't win.
Well, Miguel did win too, so I can't be too mad.
All right. Well, anyway, for people who aren't in the football playoffs, like Sir, the New York Red Bull soccer season starts in about half a month. So they're going to take home that trophy. Made the playoffs about the most times out of anyone in the MLS, but have not won anything to show for it. All right, we're going to start with the San Francisco 49er Lion game. Now, we're a few days out. I'm sure we've all had time to let this marinate and talk about it, but we are going to go to the fan here. Sir, thoughts on the game? Were you nervous? And, overall, how'd you feel coming out of it?
That first half, man, I'll tell you, that first half, we didn't look the best. The Lions were playing some good ball, but then after they went into halftime, I had to make a call. I told them, Shanahan, wake these boys up. You know what I'm saying? And that's what he did. He woke them up. They came out like a ball of fire, and hey, what's the way from the ultimate goal? So
that is true. Once again, one win away from the ultimate goal. It seems like you're in this predicament every year, which is very annoying. So I hate your guts for it.
Hey, man, just don't be jealous, brother. Come on.
That's all I can be. Lions game. You've been on the Lions hard with Tim this year. How'd you feel about the game?
I felt like the Lions threw that away, man. I think they should have won that, but it is what it is. Good luck to San Francisco next week, and we'll see what happens.
Hey, usually when you make mistakes, which we'll get to, Dan Campbell made, the better team ends up taking advantage of those mistakes. Tim, what do you think about your Lions and your Super Bowl pick, which is not there?
Waiting for afterwards, Dan Campbell to pull the old we are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook, because that's how it felt to me. And some questionable calls, right? You live by the sword, you die by the sword. And unfortunately, the sword, he impaled himself on it twice in that game. That was, he's coached like that all year. I guess he's going to go stick with his guns. But if you're telling me I can kick a field goal and have a 3-score lead in the second half of an NFC Championship game, bam. Fuck. Yeah, it was hard to watch that second half.
Well, not even to mention, that takes time off the clock. Like, that was the biggest mistake of the game. You don't want to kick the field goal to tie it at 27. I'm kind of okay with that. I'm like, okay, whatever, you're going for it. Or was it 27? It was 27, 24 at that point, or 31? Yeah. Right? Or was it tied at 27? I don't even remember.
It was tied 1.27.
Okay, so like when he didn't kick the second field goal, fine. 4th and 3, you want to go for that. It would have been a 48-yard field goal. But the other one, you have a chance. The Niners just come down and they take time off the clock and only settle for a field goal. You take time off the clock and you have a chance to get the 3 points back. In my opinion, if they make that field goal, that takes 8 minutes off the clock. That's the game. I think it's over.
Fans get back involved. They finally had something to cheer about, right? And then 2 plays later, they throw that bomb that hits my man right in the forehead, bounces right up in it. Yeah, don't say you ain't lucky, sir.
Hey, man, I'll take it, man. Listen, I'll take that bounce. Hey, man.
Well, and then I have to hear about Brock Purdy, who was so good in the second half because he threw for 163 yards. 60 of them were off a guy's face. Calm down. Calm down. Stats are one thing. Watch the game. Now, Purdy played well on his legs. He did have some big runs. But once again, it doesn't blow me away. There's just nothing he does blow me away. Nas, how do you feel about the call? Would you have kicked the field goal?
Yeah, I would have kicked the field goal.
Yeah.
It's an NFC Championship. You have to. It's one game from the Super Bowl. This is what everybody been wanting from Detroit too.
Yeah.
But I guess ego got the better of them. And
it's another case where we talk about it all the time. Coaches overthinking stuff. It's just like sometimes sports are simple, right? Like in basketball, make your free throws, you win the game. I'm a 75% free throw shooter, by the way. Some would argue 85, 90, but we'll leave that at that. In baseball, sometimes you just advance the runner, bump the guy to third, hit a sac fly. Football,
Small ball.
small. Football, sometimes 4th and 1, run the ball, QB sneak it. Don't do shotgun 5 wide. Like, and this is a case where Dan Campbell just overthought it. Like, oh, we've been playing badass all year, pedal to the metal. All right, sometimes like assess the field of the game. This isn't the time to do it. And that's just another case of it's just annoying. Now I kind of want to see the Niners in. I don't know, maybe because I picked them -7, which didn't cover at the end, so that was a sham. But like Campbell's lucky that they had a good year and they're the Lions. And to Naz's point, or to Tim's point about the face mask thing, Naz, remember when you asked what needed to change with the Cowboys? And I told you some teams are just losers and things just happen. The same goes with the Lions. The
That was
ball,
crazy.
the face, that only happens to a handful of teams, right, Tim? It's the Jets, the Cowboys, the Vikings, the Lions. It's just and sir, you knew when that ball hit the guy's face mask and you caught it. Did you not know you were winning that game at that point? Be honest.
Listen, nothing's guaranteed, especially for me, big bro. So I'm saying, like, listen, I was when the time hits 000, that's when I was like, all right, we got this one, because I've seen a lot of tough breaks in my, you know what I'm saying? So.
And then, Nas.
The wave, CJ Gardner Johnson waving that in the second quarter, waving to the fans, like, bruh, calm down, take it easy, bruh.
It's just
Team shot Debo numerous times during that game.
Yeah, that was like the most interesting. That's what I was looking forward to through and out the game, like that little, in the counter they had. And then Debo after the game said, "Somebody go check on little bro."
I know, on Twitter, somebody go check on little bro. Yo, man, he was doing a whole lot of talking. Like, come on, fam. Like,
I agree.
Which I'm okay with. But then let's not forget too, Nas and Tim and Sir, where they have 3 timeouts left and they run the ball, which negates their timeout at the end of the game, which makes them have to recover the onside kick and the game's over. Like, why are you running the ball there? It's just, I know we only play Madden and stuff, but sometimes I feel like I coach my Madden teams better than some of these coaches coach their teams. Am I wrong about this? I mean, sometimes I go for it and fake pump, but right? Like, why would you do that to ruin your fucking timeouts? I don't know. It's just a depressing loss for Detroit, and the sad thing is they may not be back. Not all of us can be the Niners.
Yeah.
Tim, you're on mute here. Yeah, Tim's trying to speak, but
hey, does that work?
Yeah, you good.
Oh, see, I got all excited. It's one thing you're the Lions, you lose. But when you lose like that, that's gutted. Like, any fan of a team and you lose in that fashion, control the whole first half, and then just shoot yourself in the foot the whole second half to throw the game back away, rough. Very
on
rough.
the road, too. Like
with Detroit, like I said last week, if they were playing anybody else, I would be like, I would root for them to get that dub. But they had to play against my boys, so I said, like, but no, they did play hard. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I understand, like, as Dan Campbell said, when he coached, like, we might not get back there again, which kind of a bad way to look at it, but I mean,
they played outstanding. They in the first half, they couldn't have played no better.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was a combination of they played good ball and San Fran did not come to play. Like, they did not play good in the first half. Like,
and that's been the theme, though. I mean, let's be honest. The Packers, I don't want to say should have, but I'm gonna for the cases because, like, the best team usually, you give a great team 4 outs instead of 3 in baseball. They're gonna take advantage of that 4th out, and the Niners are that team. But like you could say, the Packers should have beat them. The Lions should have beat them, and they just keep finding ways. And we'll touch on the game next week, obviously a little more. But
I'll say, the Green Bay game, I chalk up the game against Green Bay, the slow start to the rain. As I said, I don't think they play good in the elements. Like, so, like, because Brock came out with gloves and then he took the gloves off and he was trying to get acclimated to trying to find something that works. But so I chalk up the first game to a slow start. I mean, to the rain. But this Detroit game, like, no, they came out flat and then Detroit was running on them. And then, so I said after halftime, they made some adjustments, and the pressure started to get home. Like Bosa got Bosa was getting some sacks in, so.
Yeah, and Jared Goff's probably the only quarterback left in the NFL who's like not a mobile quarterback. Like if you really think about it.
I seen this guy put a bet in. It was like each quarterback to get 1 yard. Like Mahomes got 1 yard, Lamar got 1 yard, Purdy got 1 yard, Goff not a single
You
carry.
get 1 yard, not even a QB sneak.
Yeah, nothing.
No tush push, no nothing.
Nothing.
That's a terrible bet to lose. All right, well, sir, congratulations. You should fly out to Vegas for the game, maybe spend your $10,000.
Yo, cheapest ticket in the house is $9,000. No, thank you.
No thanks, because that'd be miserable if you lose and you go to that game.
You dropping what $30,000 just to go out there and take an L? I don't think so, my man.
Yeah, no thanks, man.
I ain't dropping $30,000 to go out there and take a win. I'll just sit on my goddamn couch.
All right, so we will get to the team that they're playing. I have an interesting take on this game, so I'll go last. But I do want to start with Tim here, because Lamar Jackson was your MVP last week, and I think you and Nas have some explaining to do, and maybe go back and forth here. Because Nas, I don't want you to be shy about this when it gets to you. I want you to defend your guy. But although I don't think it was all on him, Tim. Touch on the Ravens Chiefs game.
I fucking knew it. See, I had to play my games with y'all. I said Lamar was the MVP because I know playoff Lamar was back. It was 1 week too late. I'm sorry, Lamar Fields.
Oh, jeez.
Justin Jackson. Oh, Lamar Jackson. Oh, that's right. That's the MVP. Go ahead, Niles. What you got for me, man? Help me out. What happened to your boy?
All year, the Ravens came out and ran the football.
Mm-hmm.
Where was that at? Where was it? I get the Kansas City Chiefs have Chris Jones. I get it. But that they don't understand. The Ravens running the football, one, that helps Lamar with his legs, and two, that sets up the play action. That's what they've been doing all year. You couldn't ask for a better defensive game. Well, you could have, but for the Ravens, they shut Patrick Mahomes down in the second half. He didn't score. I feel like Lamar, he didn't play well. Everybody knows that. He had the one interception when he threw the triple coverage. Everybody knows he shouldn't have thrown that. I feel like the play he made when he threw the touchdown pass to Zay Flowers was phenomenal. Like you don't really see that.
Yeah.
But I just feel like they had so many opportunities in that game to win, and they just couldn't capitalize. But you can't put all 100% blame on Lamar. The Zay Flowers
you seem to do that. You seem to do that with Dak Prescott.
I will tell you one thing.
Because I do.
When it came down to it, you needed Lamar Jackson to throw the ball in that game and win you the game.
True.
And he couldn't do it, or he didn't do it. I don't say he can't do it because obviously, next year he can make me a liar. But
but that's the thing. You came out like I get that 100%. You got to throw against Patrick Mahomes, but the game, like all year, you've been running the ball, and it wasn't like they were down 17-24 in the first half. It was 7-7 in the first quarter. So why not stick to what's been working all year? But he didn't play well.
I would say the one thing is you said Dan Campbell was playing the game like he was playing Madden. I feel like the John Harbaugh was doing the same thing because when you play Madden, you don't really run the ball. You might run the ball once or twice, but you be trying to throw the ball all over the yard. As I said last week, the Chiefs were 27th in run defense, and I said we're both going to win this game. They were going to have to run the football. Like first carry, Gus Edwards gets a 15-yard run. He doesn't get another carry to the second half. Like, come on. They had 5 yards to carry. Lamar had was 8 for 54. Like they ran the ball 16 times. The Chiefs were in it 32 times. Come on,
the last 5 games. The last 5 games, I looked up. The last 5 games, at least one running back had double-digit carries. I get you're losing. I understand that, but in the beginning of that game,
but you ain't getting blown out. It's still close.
It's a one-score game.
Yeah,
right. But
if you get blown out 21-0, I understand. Throw the ball because you got to score quick.
Right.
But come on, man. Like,
in my opinion,
that's what makes that interception so important, though, because you could have settled for 3 there. You can't throw that. Yeah, that's a bad one.
I got 2 more things. In my opinion, I feel like Zay Flowers fumble really cost. Like that really
Yeah,
like
that's the
put the
game.
dagger. Yeah, that put the dagger. Because I feel like if it would have, should have, could have. But if he scores there, we're having a total different conversation right
I
now.
agree with that.
And nothing was there. Like, what do you call that deep pass on old boy and then start taunting him? Like, bruh, like,
But that's
you
his
just made a big
age.
play. Now you're going to taunt, and now you're going to go back
Well,
15 yards? Like, come on.
That's
they
his.
played, yeah, they played
Yeah,
so undisciplined too. Just like every penalty that got called was a penalty. It wasn't like you were looking at it like, oh, the refs are favoring the like they punched Mahomes in the head. Then the guy headbutted Kelsey. Then he headbutted Mahomes. And the taunt, what makes it even worse is like the taunt. Nah, it's like you're guarding me in basketball and I'm taunting the shit out of you. And I score like 3 times. And then you're going after me the 4th time to make sure you block that game winning, right? You have a little more motivation. The guy he
Yeah,
taunted was the one who stripped the ball. Like, so that
100%.
taunt adds to it. Like,
Yeah.
Snead was probably like, fuck this guy. Like if that's Isaiah Likely, he might just be like, touchdown, I'm not getting to him. Like
Yeah.
you got everything just is cohesive and connective, and in those games you gotta be so disciplined. One penalty just ruins everything.
Another thing that killed
they.
them in the
Go ahead.
first half, they couldn't get off the field on 3rd down. I think the Chiefs were like 7 for 7 on 3rd downs in the first half.
Yeah. Mahomes was like 11 for 11. He didn't play great, but he did play great. Like the numbers don't show how good he played. You actually had to watch that game to prove why he's in another fucking world and why he's.
That defense is very improved, very much improved from years prior. Because that defense has been carrying the squad. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but no, I'm saying the Ravens. I just don't understand. Like all season, you've been destroying teams running the football with Edwards and with Lamar's legs. You've been destroying teams running the football, and yet now you tried Lamar. You threw 37 times. Come on, bro. Like that's not your game. When you gave Texas the business, Lamar, you threw it 22 times, but you destroyed the Texans with your feet. Now you want to say, oh, let me get Flowers and Beckham and Aguilar involved. No, stop it. Run the football. Stick to your game plan. Stick to what you do best. You run the football.
And I felt like prior to that game, the Ravens didn't need Lamar to come out and throw 275, 300 for them to win that game. They didn't have to do that. I told the defense played. They could have played better, but they played outstanding. When Patrick Mahomes scores 17 points in a game, you gotta right. So.
Well, I'll tell you what I thought that the game was lost. And honestly, this isn't just me saying this now. I said this when I saw this on Twitter. That game was lost when Justin Tucker was fucking with them in the preview. Absolutely. Dude, when I saw what he was doing, I said to my friend, I go, this game's over. What is he doing? Because you get the feeling everything was set up for the Ravens. Like a home game, you might have even had the Chiefs go out there. If they go 3 and out, tip your hat. Like, you know what, this ain't our day. You don't know. But their star quarterback, their star tight end is warming up where they should have been warming up. And this kicker is fucking with them. And that angered them so much. And right there, once again, undisciplined. What are you doing?
First drive. That's the first drive. They drive that and right to Kelsey.
That's the Super Bowl champs. What are you doing? You do not poke the bear. I swear to God, I thought that was the game. I thought at that point there is no chance. I actually went on DraftKings and laid more money on the Chiefs because I already had a bet in right after I saw that. And luckily I hit 2 bets.
It's more bulletin board material, but it's right in your fucking face. It's happened to you live. It's like you're not hearing it through that's gotta be that's gotta build up your intensity for the game. Like we're fucking winning now.
Yeah. I tell you one thing. I was in Baltimore to watch that game in the city. The city was on fire. But
really?
Yeah, it was. Oh my God, it was electric.
Yeah, I could see that though. I mean, the fire got put out pretty quick.
Yeah. On Valdez Scanlon's what was that 3rd or 4th down catch?
3rd down.
You can hear him. It was like the dagger. Well, it was a dagger, but the dagger where I was at.
Listen, it boils down to once again, it's the best player on the planet. And at kickoff, he was a plus 180. How the hell? Where was all this money coming in on the Ravens? I know that people thought it was their time, but the value of Patrick Mahomes being a plus 180, you have to take. Yeah, and then the Super Bowl line opened up. And guess what?
He's an underdog
Mahomes
again.
is an underdog again. What are we doing? I don't know, sir. If I'm you, I'm worried. I know that line will shift, and we'll get to that next week. It'll probably end up an even at kickoff, I would think.
No, it's been fluctuating between like pick 'em and then one and a half, like two at some points.
Well, when
But
I
yeah,
saw that plus 124, I put a bet in on Sunday night right when the line came out on Mahomes again.
No, I know. I've been saying the whole time, like Mahomes is an underdog. Now he's 10-1-1 as an underdog. Like it's.
Hey, people keep down him. I don't remember a time where. Here's the difference too, and Lamar is he's a strange case, and what I mean by that is like you kind of know who Dak Prescott is. You kind of know who Jalen Hurts is, right? Like Lamar though is like 2 MVPs. It's like he's expected to be where Mahomes is, but like in all reality, he's nowhere near it. And when we had Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, they were like neck and neck going at it. And you could argue Peyton Manning was a better quarterback. Brady just won more. You had Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, same thing. And now it's literally just Mahomes and everybody else. In my opinion, it's not even close.
I feel like that they're pushing that narrative because we see year after year after year that Josh Allen just can't get it done.
Yeah, and they want them to be the 1-2, but it's just not happening.
It just can't happen. And then Joe Burrow getting injured this year kind of hurt it too. So what other quarterback a top quarterback in the AFC?
No, you're right about that. But like then again, he's gonna have 2 MVP. It's weird. He might ultimately end with, let's say, 3 MVPs. Let's say in 2 years he has another good year. But 25 years from now, he's not going to be in the quarterback conversation of a top 20 of all time, which is very strange. So he's like kind of an enigma, right? Right, Tim? Am I right about that? Like we won't talk about him like we talk about Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes or anyone like that, but he'll have 3 MVPs. Very strange.
He's win a Super Bowl and
then all gotta change. Yeah.
True. Yeah. I guess I'm assuming he won't, but he could prove me right. He could win one in his 15th year. You never know. Like Elway didn't win one until he was 37, 38. He was 0-3 before he got there. So that's that though. Sir, you had a Super Bowl question. This is a quick episode because we just did some recaps. What's your Super Bowl question?
All right. So like on Monday, I was hearing a lot of people give their reviews or Super Bowl reviews, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, I want to see Detroit versus Baltimore," because which I understand. You kind of, as you mentioned, you want to see Lamar do well. Detroit, the underdogs, whatever. Then I thought somebody put a tweet out. There was like this duel between the bad guys versus the batter guys. So now I understand Chiefs being the batter guys. You don't want to see Miss Swift or there. You try to see it on the screen, whatever. But when did the San Fran become the bad guys? That's what maybe I don't see it because I'm my squad. But when did they become the bad guys?
When they started fucking winning a lot. No one likes the team when they win. When the Cowboys were winning everything, nobody liked the Cowboys. When the Patriots were winning everything, nobody liked the Patriots. It comes with the territory. You keep winning, they're going to keep hating you. LeBron in basketball, everyone fucking hates LeBron, except the people who really, really like LeBron. I don't really
look at the downfall people rooted for. Everyone loved the Golden State Warriors. Now they fucking hate them. Like Steph was like the darling. Now people couldn't stand him after like 3 titles. So yeah, you win, sir. That's the best problem to have, to be hated.
No, I like winning, but I'm just saying like the bad guys. Like, come on, like I understand rooting for the Lions because they're the underdog story. You want to see them, but like we ain't the bad guys, man. We ain't won a championship in about 30 years.
You have a rich history, though.
Yeah.
You're forgetting that. Yeah, Montana won 4.
No, I get the history, but I'm talking about now. We've also had some down years, like a lot of down years. So like, I don't know. I just see how we're the bad guys in this.
So you think they're bad guys? You were the bad guy as a Patriot fan for a long time.
Nah, I don't think they're bad guys. I think what Tim said was pretty much how it is. When you win, they hate you.
I also think part of it too is you have built a dynasty. I want to say dynasty, but you've built a winning culture with quarterbacks who people don't consider that good, and it bothers teams and fans who actually have good quarterbacks. I really think that's a big part of it. Now, you could say what you want about Purdy and Garoppolo, but like a guy who had like a Tony Romo who never won, and like Romo was way better than like Garoppolo or Purdy, and we couldn't sniff an NFC Championship. Then I see guys like that get there, and it's frustrating. The Chargers of Phillip Rivers. I think like that's where it comes from. Honestly, how you're doing it, not that you're doing it. Like when the Patriots are winning, it's like Tom Brady's the greatest. Well, you know, when the Colts are doing it, Peyton Manning, even the Chiefs, as much as they hate him, it's Patrick Mahomes. What the fuck could you do? I think it's your quarterbacking. Maybe I'm wrong, Tim. What do you think?
No, but to me, football's a team game. So like, I understand the quarterback, but like I always feel like you should build your team like you build your team around like they have stars around Purdy. Like Purdy's, you know what I'm saying? He's I mean, is he top 3? No, but I mean, he's a good quarterback. There's not a lot of elite quarterbacks out there. They can say, oh, Brock Purdy's not elite. There's only like maybe like there's Mahomes. There's maybe like Burrow and Allen, and then that's it.
Yeah, the whole elite thing's bullshit. It's basically like who could win a Super Bowl, and there's about 18 to 20 quarterbacks who are good enough to win Super Bowls. They have everything's right around them.
That's what I was going to ask. I was like, sir, if you take Purdy off your team, where do you draw the line? Like, what quarterback tier isn't getting you or can't get you to that same spot as Brock Purdy?
Maybe like Sam Howell. Like seriously, everyone in the NFC. But like seriously, let's be honest. And I hate doing this because I did it a long time with Romo and Eli. But like, if you put Daniel Jones or let's say
I know one quarterback. Jets.
Yeah,
you wouldn't win with him. No, I promise you.
No, but like if you put Derek Carr on the Niners, are they in a worse spot? They're probably right where they
are. 100%.
Like seriously. So like that's where it comes in.
I do have something to say about Derek Carr later, but that's fine.
You can say
I feel like now as a 49er quarterback, all you really have to do is just manage the game.
Dude, you're getting in a Lamborghini, just don't crash it.
100%. Just
that's it.
If we, I can't say this, but if we lose, it's kind of your fault because it's like it's not your fault, but it kind of is your fault. All you said, all you got to do, you're in a Lamborghini, just don't crash it.
No, that's what's up because like when they win, it's the team. The team plays well. When they lose, they blame Brock.
But that goes without saying. Like, but quarterbacks get too much credit to begin with.
No, I agree with you. Quarterbacks get way too much credit. I agree with you on that. Like,
and too much blame too. It goes hand in hand. You're telling me those Ravens team. I know Joe Flacco played great. You're telling me he was the reason they fucking won that Super Bowl? Get out of here! Like, come on. Like,
Trent Dilfer.
Right, there was 10 quarterbacks better in the league at that time than Joe Flacco. He just had an amazing run, and they threw a Hail Mary.
Defense and running the football.
Right. Even Roethlisberger's first Super Bowl. Nod, you're too young to remember this. Versus
he played the Seahawks.
Yeah, the only guy who threw a touchdown pass was Antoine Randall. He didn't even throw a touchdown pass. He almost ruined the game with an interception in the fucking first half. That's like, as far as I'm concerned, Ben Roethlisberger has 1 Super Bowl ring as a quarterback, and Russell Wilson has 0. As far as I'm concerned, because the Legion of Boom carried him to that one too.
So does Tony Romo there. Just
very true. Can't argue that. But if Romo had Dak's defense, I think his career would have been a lot different. That's what I'll say about that. All right. Well, next week we'll get to our preview of the game and see where we're going as far as over/under, which Sir will definitely be picking. Who we got as our MVP? Some Gatorade coloring prop bets, things like that. $5 for $3.20 for the purple Gatorade. So you might as well burn your money if you're gonna bet on that because it's.
Actually, I'm pretty sure purple hit last year. I actually had money on that.
Oh wow! I already bet the coin toss. Who's gonna win the coin toss and the Gatorade
coin toss?
Yeah,
tails never fails.
$5 on everything. Just do and see what happens at the end.
Put the props in, and then the next morning, see what's your account at.
Right, -10. All right, all right. Let's get to like the awards. Technically, our season awards. We did MVP, but like who are your biggest shock of the year, biggest surprise, and coach of the year? Nas, I'm going with you.
What do you want me to start? Coach of the year?
Coach of the year, yeah. Who's your coach of the year?
D'Amico Ryans.
That's fair enough.
Do I need an explanation or?
Yeah, go for it. Do what you want to do. It's your floor.
No, I just think how he turned that Texans program around after being the D coordinator from San Fran You know, when you get that new job, everybody's like, "Oh, well, can you do this? Oh, can you do that?" I feel like he instilled hope in Texans fans that we can get this done. They just came up short. So
I
that's my
agree
coach
with
of the year.
that. That's a good coach of the year. However, when you usually have a good season, you overachieved, and everyone will pick them next year, and they'll probably go 7-10 and suck because that's normally what happens in the NFL. Sir, you're coach of the year.
I'm about to go Kevin Stefanski of the Cleveland Browns. You know, they lost it. They lost Deshaun Watson. They lost Nick Chubb. They had 4 different starting quarterbacks, and they still went 11-6 and made the playoffs. You know, they had the number 1 ranked defense. Like them, hey, that shocked me a little bit. You know, I was kind of surprised that they 11-6. I thought they were mid pack, but Stefanski had that team playing, ready to play.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's a good one, Tim.
I can't say it any better than Sir did, but Kevin Stefanski was my pick as well.
All right, well, I'm going with someone who definitely won't win it, Mike Tomlin. Once again, the fact that you win 10 games with that team is just unbelievable. They literally didn't have a quarterback for all 10 games. When they did, they were horrible. They won't give it to Tomlin, but to me, 10 wins with that team is as impressive as like a 15-2 season. It's unbelievable. I still don't get it, but he would have my vote. Biggest shock
when you trotting out money, Mitch, and getting W's, that's impressive.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. Biggest shock of the year, bad. I will start. I think people might have this. I'm honestly gonna go with the Jaguars. They're full from grace. I don't understand. Trevor Lawrence stepped backwards big time. I know because I had him in fantasy, and boy, was that garbage. So he's pretty much dead to me as far as that level goes, and I'll never have him on my team again. I'm gonna go back to drafting kickers in the 3rd round, like Rob Baronis, rest in peace. Brought me 2 fantasy titles back in 2009 and 2010. Good old Thunderleg, as they called him. Tim.
Nobody calls him that, first of all.
That was his nickname, Thunderleg.
Second of all, I need to get in fantasy leagues with you if you're drafting
guys in the 3rd round. Let me be in your league, Tim.
And third of all, I told you I was going to talk about Derek Carr. The Saints. That's my biggest disappointment.
That's a good one. Yeah.
All he kept saying, all Derek Carr needs is a top 5. All he needs is a defense. He's never had a good defense. Well, he finally got a good defense, and boy, he played like he was still on the Raiders. That was my biggest disappointment because I had high hopes for the Saints this year.
Yeah, well, that didn't work out. You also had high hopes for the Bills. Didn't work out either. Sir.
So, honorable mention. I want to say the late season end of the downfall of the Philadelphia Eagles. Because, honorable mention. Because, they said they 10-1 and then they just dropped off a cliff. But my shock was the KC offense in the regular season, especially. Last year, Mahomes threw for 5,200 yards, 41 touchdowns, 12 picks. This year, 27 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, a little over 4,000 yards. Kelsey didn't have a Kelsey type year. The team didn't really change much from last year, and they were 15th in the league in points per game. Now regular season, their defense stepped up, but the shock was the offense. Like Mahomes was drafted in a lot of leagues in the second round, first quarterback off the board, and he was not a first off the board fantasy quarterback this year. So the offense in general was a shock to me.
Well, you said honorable mention. What's your main one?
No. The honorable was the Eagles.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Yeah, the honorable was the Eagles. Yeah.
Nice.
My bad is the Patriots. Even though we had,
you had high hopes for them.
That was like, wait, Steve, you wouldn't expect that?
Nah, I wasn't. Even though we had problems at the quarterback spot, I really thought after bringing Joe Judge back and getting rid of Patricia from calling a little offensive plays, I thought we would have been better than what we were. But because with Bill, I think our defense would have always been good, or at least average. But I thought maybe
nothing. Your defense wasn't bad this year. Like it was
at all. We had a lot.
Your offense was trash, but
that's what I'm saying.
Can I ask you a question, Nas? Now that Brady's gone and Belichick's gone, what team you rooting for next year? Because I know it ain't the Patriots. You running
Patriots.
with who you running with?
The Patriots.
Nah.
Nas is gonna be me in 14 years, where he had
miserable.
He had his glory days like I did in the 90s, and he'll be talking about those. That's what it's going to be, and you'll finally understand what it's like. And then when you do get a quarterback of the stature like a Dak, you'll be the one defending him as a younger person is sitting there saying, he sucks, he's not the guy. But you've been through so many bad quarterbacks at that point, you're going to be like, yes, he is. He can make it happen.
I think, well, in Gerard Mayo, we trust. I think, but You remember in the first episode, you asked me what, as a GM, should you do?
Yes.
I think I switched that. I think I've been seeing a lot that the Patriots are going to go draft Jaden Daniels, and I am okay with that. I think that's a
Yeah,
huge stepping stone into
I
where
don't
we
mind
need to
that.
get.
I don't mind that. Heisman Trophy winner won me some money as I accidentally put a bet in on him. In FanDuel, thought it was Jalen Daniels. Accidentally clicked on Jaden Daniels and cashed that ticket in December. Fun time, true story. But no, that's not bad though. Good shock. Now I would say the Packers, but I kind of knew what was going to happen. So I'm not going to say I was shocked about that. I will say the one thing that shocked me in a good way is that all the backup quarterbacks that had to come in actually performed. Teams with injured quarterbacks actually weren't knocked out of the playoffs, except one team who didn't figure it out early. That would be the Jets. But as far as like the Bengals with Browning, they were in it. The Browns, they were in it. The Vikings with
The
Doc,
Vikings,
they
I
were
would say the
in
Vikings.
it. Like it wasn't like out of the realm of possibility.
Colts.
These backups are making the Colts, yeah. You're right. It's just so that was really shocking in a good way. And it just once again proves that you need a backup quarterback. Just get a guy who could perform. Tim, go.
So I had two, which were pretty much, I think, well, what should be everybody's. Pittsburgh winning with the lineup they had, like you said. Tomlin just year in and year out. It doesn't matter how bad the team is. Like, all right, they're going to at least be 500.
Yeah.
And then the Browns with their injuries that they had and to somehow survive with, I don't know, could have been me and you throwing the fucking football and getting 11 wins with that roster was very, very surprising.
Yeah, sir.
As I said, to me, the good shock was the Houston Texans. Last year, they went 3-13. They had the second pick in the draft. They had a rookie quarterback, rookie coach, and then they go 10-7 and win the division. Like, how often do you see that happening with a rookie coach, especially rookie defensive coach, defensive-minded coach? Usually, the good young coaches are usually offensive-minded, a good defensive-minded with a young quarterback at the helm. Like, to go 10-7 and win a playoff game.
There's hope. There's a lot of hope.
You know what I'm saying? If you're a Texas fan, you looking up, you feeling good about yourself because you got your quarterback.
I'm here for that downfall, which will happen next year.
Hey, in that division, I mean, hey, especially with the Jaguars. As you mentioned, like the Jaguars, I was kind of surprised with because they were supposed to take the next step up, and the Texans came in and said, "Give me that division." So
yeah, Nas.
I had two. One was the Texans, but he just obviously just explained that. The second one, this team didn't make the playoffs, but when they made this move, I felt like the team just switched as a whole. I'm gonna go with the Raiders. When Antonio Pierce became the head coach, I felt like all those guys really bought in, and I think if they keep who they need to keep, I feel like they can pretty much make some noise next year.
Oh boy, but we're so old. We just remember the Raiders as it's just not going to work out. But I hope it does for their fan base because just after the Tuck rule, which we were a baby when that happened, that just turned both fortunes around for each franchise. You don't understand how good the Raiders were in those years, man. It just whoop.
It's gone.
Let me get another good. What's so surprising was the Birds of Puka Nakua. He balled out. I'm saying sixth round receiver. You know what I'm saying? With Cooper Kupp going down, and he actually balled out. Even when Cooper Kupp came back, he was still balling. So
yeah.
Now you know who I felt like was overreacted this year? Bijan Robinson, the running back from the Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like everybody had high hopes, and I mean he performed, but he didn't perform to what everybody thought he would perform.
He went first round in a lot of fantasy leagues.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what I was.
Well, that and also Baker Mayfield, good year. Got to give him some credit there.
Let Baker bake.
Oh, Jesus. I will say, too, just to end this episode, so Dan Quinn obviously got signed by Washington. I don't care. Like, good riddance. If I'm the
You don't think it's going to affect your defense?
Honestly, we had Rob Ryan and sucked the one year. We had Monty Kiffin and sucked. So I just play it out. I see what happens. Like, honestly.
Who do you think? Do you think they promote?
No, here's what I want them to do. It's outside the box, but this is what I want them to do. I want them to promote Al Harris to defensive coordinator. A young coach, DB coach. and maybe you'll
Dan
find
Quinn might take him with.
Nah, he's
Dan
a
Quinn might
McCarthy
take him
guy.
with him.
He's a McCarthy guy. He played for Mike McCarthy with Green Bay. That's a McCarthy guy. And if McCarthy gets fired next year, maybe you found your young coach. Maybe you'll catch something. That's what I would do rather than recycle.
Is there a chance they demote Mike McCarthy and then sign Bill Belichick?
No, they would just fire McCarthy if that's the case. I don't think McCarthy would. I wouldn't do that with McCarthy.
You're probably right.
I mean, if that's a conversation Jerry Jones wants to have with me, I'm quitting.
Seriously. How about you bringing Bill Belichick as a DC?
He wouldn't do that either. If that's a conversation Bill Belichick's having with Jerry Jones, I don't want him. You want to be a DC? Get the fuck out of here.
As I said, Belichick can still coach a defense. He doesn't with the Pats this year. He had the defense balling. The offense
had 6 rings, man. He's not taking a back seat.
Tom Brady got 6 rings.
He needs power. Bill needs power.
Yeah.
That and he needs how many? Doesn't he need a certain amount of wins to get?
I think he needs like 15 wins to be the all-time leader.
He won't coach this year. He'll take a year off. And I will say, if Dallas doesn't make the Super Bowl, I think Jerry Jones will hire him next year. I think he's biding his time. Or let's be honest, Dable. If he gets fired, he's your Giants' next head coach. Quite frankly, I don't even know if I want him. I want a young guy. I want a new face, a pioneer. Bring me a McVay guy who is revolutionary, fix new offenses and defenses. But obviously, Jerry Jones is 81, so I don't see him doing that. But I would go the Al Harris route. Give this kid a shot.
What has Belichick shown that he could do without Brady?
No, I know. That's why.
I mean, they made the playoffs the year before with a rookie quarterback, Mac Jones.
Other than that, though, he's been trash. Without Brady at the helm, he's been a losing coach before Brady, then and after.
That Browns team, he kind of gets a bad rap with the Browns though, because he did make the playoffs with them his last year.
No, I'm just saying, in his career record without Brady is not good.
Well, hold on.
It's been 3 years.
When Brady got hurt, he's been Brady got hurt in the middle of one of the very first game of the season.
We won 11-5.
With Matt Castle. I got you, but I'm just saying.
And don't forget with Garoppolo that 1 year in Brissett, they went 3-1, and then with Bledsoe, he was in the AFC. He made the playoffs with Bledsoe. So
I'm not saying he's trash, but I'm just saying I don't know. I don't see really let's all give Belichick the power.
That's what I'm saying, sir. You're with me though. I don't even know if I want him. I don't care if they don't get him. I'm not knocking down doors, flying out to bring him there.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm not.
Yeah.
I wouldn't roll out the red carpet for him.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Get a young mind in there and let's make some moves.
Right.
Yeah. How old is he? Isn't he 71 or 72?
71,
yeah, he's up there. Yeah.
So, but Jerry Jones won't do that. But I, as a fan, I'd rather just go the younger route, like Jerome Mayo or whatever. Just something new, man. Let's
change it up.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, that's our show. Go on.
Then Dallas would be the Cowboy way if he gets over there.
Oh yeah, it would just be miserable because they lose with him, and then I'd be like, we're definitely cursed. That would be it. But all right, well, that's the show. Next week we'll do the Super Bowl preview show. I'll try to have some guests on, and good luck, everybody. Enjoy your Sunday. Enjoy the Pro Bowl, the flag football.
I actually got to go watch the competitions right when I get off of this.
That's the worst Thursday night of all time.